Hi, I'm Ellie from crystallinks.com. Today is Sunday, January 15th, 2017. We are about to enter an historic week. We could call this a week of protests because there are protests about the upcoming presidency of Donald Trump. But basically, history is going to be made, and I hope it's not going to be violent. We live in frustrating times, let's put it that way. I'm trying to find the right adjective for this. It's people are unhappy in many ways and in many levels. The election of Donald Trump really came as a big shock and a big surprise to many people who thought Hillary was going to win. Okay, I admitted that I voted for Trump, and then a lot of people unfriended me on Facebook. Well, I'm cool with that. You can unfriend me. I believe this. I believe that people have a right to make their own choices for whatever their reasons are. I may agree with them, they may agree with me. It really doesn't matter at the end of the day, because whatever's going to happen is going to happen. I wasn't going to vote at all in the election because I really felt that neither candidate was suitable. Neither candidate was really going to fix things, because I come from a place that we live in a holographic illusion where everything is ending anyway. So no one really has the ability to step up and say, I can make America great again. I can fix this. I can stop climate change. I can stop earthquakes. I can do so many of the other things this country and other countries need so desperately. I believe that all of the candidates really hoped that they could make this difference, wanted the opportunity to do it. From the beginning, I really thought it was Trump. I really thought there's something here in the energy that said Donald Trump had to be the next president. I only wavered from that, by the way, towards the end, when there was all those sexual things that he said on the bus with Billy Bush and all of that. And I'm like, oh my God, now people are going to turn against him. And yet everything in me kept saying, Donald Trump is supposed to be the president. Why? To me, it's quite simple, actually. There are truths out there. You know it, and I know it. There are truths about why our lives evolve the way they do, who really runs things, why things happen, why hasn't God or aliens or someone come down and come back to help us. There's so many questions. I mean, for the average person, the question is, what can I do to bring greater purpose into my life? Okay? This week there are going to be a lot of protests. They started this weekend. Tomorrow is Martin Luther King Day. Today is Martin Luther King's birthday. And there were protests in D.C. After the inauguration, there's going to be the Women's March on Washington. I know a lot of people are protesting against Trump. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you, oh, I think he is the greatest and the best and all this other stuff. I'm not. I'm really not, because I don't feel that. But I do feel he has a purpose in this algorithm or equation that we call our reality. And because of he'll stand up to people in his party, he'll stand up to Democrats, he'll stand up to the press, he'll stand up to the intelligence community, he'll stand up to anybody about anything. When he reaches that point of knowing exactly how and why things work the way they do, or don't do, actually, as we can see in this reality, he's the guy who's going to bring it. I don't see him assassinated. And 8 years ago, in 2008, a lot of people had been writing, they think Obama will get assassinated, first black president. And I immediately did not see it. And I wrote no. I said, I like the Obamas, and I feel in the course of time that he will do the best he can, but he also has his limitations. There's just so much he can do. It's like the mayors who come into New York City, where I live, and they try very hard to fix the problems. But as you should know by now, the insanity rules this reality, and you can't fix many of the problems because they're not programmed to be fixed. We live in drama. There are people out there who tell me, I'm not happy unless there's some dramas going on in my life. There's got to be a drama about this and about that, and they need that energy charge that they get from living in a drama. Otherwise, life becomes boring to them. I'm glad I'm not one of those people, because the amount of energy you have to spend to try to balance these dramas, it burns you out. Let's put it that way. And we also know, and I've done other little short blogs like this, that the burnout level of society is huge in every country, in every part of the world. But now let's get back to this week. So we come to whatever's going to happen with Donald Trump. He will not be assassinated. He's a workaholic guy. That's what he thrives on. He likes attention. He likes to work. And no sooner will he become president than he will go forth and he will do whatever he can try his best to do. He'll be blocked here. He'll be blocked there. There's going to be an investigation again with Russia and Comey from the FBI and all these other things that will just go on and on and on. I believe he's just going to ignore it all. Some of you will be invested in following the dramas. I'm not one of these people. I put something on a blog this week where I said I've never followed politics and politicians because I believe it's all based on conspiracy and diversion, and you're never really going to know what's going on anyway. That's what I learned growing up from my family, and that's what I believe. And now other people everywhere are saying there's a conspiracy with this, that, and the other thing. Trump is here to unravel for human consciousness and what I call these end times, the truth of what's behind the illusion, what's behind the wizard or whatever, what's behind the curtain. He's here to get us out of Oz. He's here to click your red heels, which means emotions, and go home. There's a million metaphors. And the day I decided to vote for him was Election Day, because I wasn't going to vote. I'm registered independent, and I hadn't voted in probably since I was your age, and that was a long time ago. And I just decided, okay, fine, I'm not going to vote. I woke up that morning, and clear as a bell, I knew I had to go and vote, and I did. And I knew it had to be Trump. And there is something about what's going to come forth from Trump that is unlike anything that has ever happened before. It's not about the protests. It's not about the rallies. It's not about his behavior patterns. We've been down this road already. You want to go back. You want to review them all. You want to bash him. You want to do a satire on him. You do whatever you want to do. But all you know is if this was a book I was holding and we turn the page, we are turning a page in the history of not just the United States, but the world. Because when the truth comes to pass, it's going to change everything. To me, the truth does incorporate the UFO and alien community. It does. It's a vast community. I know a lot of the researchers. I believe in a lot of their theories. I do believe in a lot of things that are going on that we as citizens of the world have a right to know. Some people have said that Russia and China and some of those countries know the truth and they want to get this truth out there. They don't care what other people think about the governments. They're ready to tell the truth. I don't know. There's a rumor about everything. There's so much out there that you can go through all the conspiratorial theories. You can go through whatever you want to go through. Now, what you need to look at is this. We're turning the page of a new chapter, particularly in American history. Okay? The truth will be known. How long will it take? I run everything parallel to earthquake activity. And as you know, in the Ring of Fire, from other little blogs I've done, in the Ring of Fire, from November 14th through into January this month, there have been tremendous earthquakes, which has stepped up to the 7s going into the 8s. I think one of them was in the 8s. When the earthquakes get to the 9s, they're going to break off into all these fissures. Parallel earthquakes are going to happen. 9 means endings in numerology, and that's what you really need to look at. Let's look at the physics. Let's look at the science. The physicists say we live in a hologram simulation. Look up simulation theory on crystallings or look it up on YouTube. They can say it's theoretical, but most of them don't believe that. The ones I've spoken to say no, there's something to it. And I know I always come back to this being a hologram and that it's not really real. But I did another blog today on technology, and it's interesting that one of my clients who does movies, she told me that her and a man were working on a project they've just submitted to the Tribeca Film Festival that has to do with, we're getting past digital, we're going into augmented and virtual reality, meaning we're taking steps more and more and more to show that what we're doing with technology actually parallels what's really going on in the world today, so, or as we experience it. Technology is bringing it. Trump is going to bring it. Don't hate me. I'm just the lady who's here to tell you what I see and I feel, and you can do whatever you want to do with that information. But watch the world, watch your dreams, pay attention to your dreams, because the dreams and the intuition in people, like even one of my daughters the other day said, I feel like we're coming to the end of something. I don't know what it is, but it's the end of something. You know, watch for these feelings and emotions. You can make notes on it, write it down, think about it. You're going to dream about it. It's out there in what's called the consciousness grids. That's where all the information is as to what's happening now and what is about to happen. Trump's, should he be in office for 5 years and we're around 4 years and we're around for 4 more years, I just can't see that happening. I just feel he's here for a reason and a purpose. There's something about this that is very important and very powerful. So he'll get into office, and I do feel this about him, whether I liked him or didn't like him, and I had met him along the line. But whatever it is, as a lot of the politicians have said, he has been elected. He is going to be our president. And we're protesting. You can protest for racial issues and women's issues and anything that you want to protest for, jobs and equality and everything. But he should be shown some degree of respect. He should have the opportunity to show us what he can do. It's very, very important. I mean, I know that he can't even get people to come and perform at his inauguration. There are certain people who are going to go, and many who have backed out because I guess they'll be blackballed or who knows what. But, you know, sometimes you have to take a stand. Maybe I'm a New York City girl, like Trump lives in the city and there's a thinking alike. There is a lot to what he says that really does make sense. And I know the Hollywood community wanted Hillary Clinton to win, but then again, everyone I know who voted for Trump were voting against Clinton because she has her share of illegal issues, should we call them, problems, whatever. So yes, we had the two worst candidates. Yes, most people said, well, Hillary is the better of the two, but she was never meant to win. She really wasn't meant to win. So all you can do is you can watch the inauguration if you choose. You can watch what's going on politically this week. It's going to be a big week, all about Trump's cabinet and some of these men going against what Trump says. And I give them credit for that, you know. I also feel he's going to let go of a lot of people too. Some of the people he's hiring into his cabinet and bringing in all these other people to help him. I think many of them are not going to remain. It's not important to me. What's important is that he's going to be inaugurated. He is going to start to do some of the things he promised he would do while he was a candidate. Will he behave professionally and speak eloquently like Obama did? You know he won't. No, he talks like he's from the streets, you know. I mean, there's no education, there's no experience behind it. But also say, I mean, you're going to feel once he's elected, oh, we're screwed. This is it. The country's screwed. The world's screwed. What's going to happen with China? You're going to have a million questions. You don't control it. Trump doesn't control it. No one controls it except the hologram itself. So just sit back and watch everything going on and going down. And just let it happen. And don't forget to watch the earthquakes, the earth changes. You can't miss the climate changes because they're right in everybody's face now. And you're going to say, okay, the climate changes can't be fixed. I believe Trump has said that, and I agree with him on that. I think he thinks that the climate changes, some of the things people say they're going to do to fix them, are a bit of a scam to get money from people. I don't know. I don't follow politics. I followed it more in the last year and a half since he declared than I have in my entire life. And it's funny because back in the day when my kids were young, I had a neighbor named Susan who was very involved in all the political stuff way back then. We all lived in Manhattan Beach, and she was very involved, and she used to say, hey, would you like to come to this meeting? I don't know who she worked with. And I always said, no. Politics, no. No. Politics, economics, it's all fake, it's all phony. No, thank you. And of all people to email me today, not about this topic, just to give me a big shout out, hi, is Susan. After all these years, I don't think I've spoken to her in 30 years maybe. And it's interesting. So on you go to the week. I hope it's a good week for you. I hope you're safe from the bad weather and anything else in your life that's detrimental. If you're feeling anxiety over Trump, it may have nothing to do directly with him becoming president, but what he's going to bring and how the world will receive it. Because once people find out that, you know what? There's no God out there who's coming back to save us. There's no savior. There's none of it. It's all mythology. Things are going to change very, very much. So on that note, I leave you, and I hope this is a very good week for you. Thank you.